Hi guys, it's Sam with Spieler Custom Baits. Today we're going to be doing just a simple crappie jig. We're going to start out with a 1/16 ounce number 4 hook jig. These were casted and powder coated black. We're going to start off by adding just a little bit of adhesive to the hook shank here. And we're going to be using a 120 denier black thread. And we're just going to go ahead, lock that down, and take that down to the point of the hook. And cut off our excess. And with just this jig, we're going to be using marabou tips. These are just some tips that I had laying around. And to this one, we're going to go ahead and add 2 of them just to give it a more full tail. So we're going to start off with our first tip, bringing it towards the head a little bit, and then locking it in place by wrapping that down. We're going to cut off our excess up here, and we're going to grab another tip and repeat this process. Adding a second tip to this just gives it a little bit more of a full tail. We want to make sure that that's lined up with that first tail real nice, and go towards the head of the jig and lock that in place again. And with this jig, we're going to be using a black Cactus Chanel. It has a pretty nice flash to it, and it gives it a nice kind of full body. Take off a little bit off the tip just to get that nice little tie in. And we're going to tie that in fully on that jig before wrapping it, making nice even wraps, holding even pressure, and brushing back on those filaments just to get them out of the way and kind of puff them up to give it a little bit more of a full body. Once we have that, we're going to go ahead, give it a couple wraps on one side, wrap it in on the other, and we're going to repeat that process. I like to do it twice. While I'm doing these wraps, I like to really push that thread against the jig head to get it beyond those filaments and kind of push them back. And we're going to go ahead and cut our Chanel. Give it a couple of wraps and kind of build up a little bit of a collar here. And take our whip finisher and get a couple of whip finishes on that just to secure that in place. Go ahead and clip our thread, and we're just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of head cement around the collar of that. This jig just has a straight black profile with just a little bit of flash. It's more for just giving the profile of the jig, and it seems to work really well. And that's our finished jig. And we're going to go ahead and get a couple of shots of that. Thank you guys for watching.